Today in the wood yard, the saws are gonna scream, we're gonna cut wood, we're gonna split wood, we're gonna deliver wood. It's all coming up right now. Today could not be a more gorgeous, beautiful day. Right now it's about 35 degrees, it's about 7:30 in the morning, and we're supposed to get up to the mid-40s today. Sweet. It's supposed to be sunny, just a beautiful, beautiful day. So I already uncovered the splitter. Fill it up with gas. I already got the chainsaws out and they're all sharpened up and they're ready to go, as you can see right over here. One thing I did a little change on, you might have noticed last time I was cutting, my little measuring devices here on the saws, I put 2 of them on there because they do break off occasion. I broke one the other day. So I've got them zip tied on. What I found works really good is to put some tape underneath it and then they zip on tighter. You can still move them if I have to. These I taped on kind of permanent. So anyway, those are the measuring devices. For those of you that haven't been here before, the way it works is I measure from the outside to the bar is 16 inches on all of them. So that's what those are for. And they're real flexible. They just whip right out of the way. Doesn't cause a problem at all. They're not the big clunky one like I had before. So the saws are ready to go. The splitter's ready to go. I am ready to go. And what I'm gonna start out with is I'm gonna start splitting right here and get some rounds split up. I'm gonna do that for a little while. And I got a guy coming. Chris is coming back. He was here a couple weeks ago. He picked up some wood and he's gonna come get another load. He's a viewer from YouTube and he's buying some more wood for his uncle. And then he's starting to sell wood too, and he needs some stuff that's dry. So I think he's buying some for bundling. I think he's gonna get either 3 or 4 or 5 face cords today. He's got a big truck and trailer. He's coming to pick up some stuff. So he'll be here in a little while. We'll do that. And after I get this stuff split, then we're gonna cut the rest of this pile back here. That is my plan. I wanna get this whole pile right here cut today. That's the major job. And at the end of the day, I have a delivery to do. So, got a lot of work happening, so let's get busy. So you saw Chris was just here. We loaded his trailer up with the full cord, which was right here, and that's going down the road. And he's gonna come back and get some more later today. So now that we sat and talked for, I don't know, an hour or so, a bunch of time, I didn't get much done yet. So I'm gonna get going, I'm gonna get this split, and I'm gonna get the saws out and get cutting right now because it is a beautiful day. It's gotta be in the 40s. It's fantastic. The sun is shining, birds are singing. Time to get to work. Now, a lot of you have mentioned that you like the voiceover, so I thought I'd give it a whirl here. Got a few things to talk about. I usually write down things that people will mention in the comments, the things they got questions about, and then I kind of bring them up and talk about them a little bit. So while I'm just splitting wood here, you can watch my hands fly around and the chunks of wood go flying, and I'll do a little bit of talking. So one of the things that I get asked quite a bit, obviously, is about the splitter. And seeing as I'm using the splitter, I figured I would talk about it. And a lot of people ask me why I got the Easton Made Ultra, and why I didn't get a bigger, professional, you know, full-time type of splitter, or why I didn't get a kinetic splitter, or why I don't have a elevator and all the other things. And there's lots of reasons for that. I've only been selling wood now for like about 7 years, and my first splitter was just a box store splitter that I paid like $900 for, and I ran, I think, right around 800 face cords through that splitter, and then I sold it. And it was only 2 years old. And then I bought my last splitter that I had, which I called the Glacier because it was kind of slow. But that one I ran for 2 years, and I got about 1,000 face cords through it, or 330 full cords, I guess, is what I ran through it. Pretty much wore it out. If you go back to the old videos, you can see that I wore right through the sides of the rails, and it it needs a little bit of work. I'm just going to sell it sometime and get my money out of it. I paid like $1,000 for it, and it's probably still worth, I don't know, $300-400. The hydraulics are fine, the engine's fine. Never really went on the road at all. I mean, everything's good on it other than the side rails are kind of wore through. So somebody that's handy can buy it and weld it and fix it up. It would be perfectly good for someone who's a homeowner. And that kind of brings me up to the Ultra here. This would be almost to me like about as good of a splitter as a homeowner would ever need. I mean, there's a lot of homeowners, people that are buying splitters, that are getting these commercial grade splitters that are, I just don't know, they just must have a lot of money to spend. I don't see why. If you're only going to split, maybe a dozen, maybe 20 cords a year, that'd be full cords, and that'd be all the splitter you would ever need. It'd be something like this. Actually, if you're only splitting, half a dozen to a dozen full cords a year, a box store splitter is really all you need. I mean, you don't need anything super big and fast and expensive. My brother heats with, not my brother Ken that you've met, my other brother Eric. He heats his house. He's got a wood boiler, and he goes through probably 20-25 face cords a year, so 7 to 8 full cords a year. And all he's got is a small, I think he paid maybe $700-800 for it. It's a Spico he bought at a box store, and he's had it for years now, and it works just fine. It's not super fast, but it does the job. But the reason I got the Easton made, number one, without question, is the speed. It's just fast. And I looked at the kinetic splitters, and I thought, they were nice. I almost got one. I mean, I looked at them, I priced them, I called, I talked to the people, but after seeing the Easton made Ultra here, how fast it was, it's almost as fast as a kinetic splitter, but yet you got some more power, and it has an adjustable 4-way wedge, whereas I don't think I've ever seen a kinetic splitter that has a 4-way wedge, so you can split your pieces down fine right off the bat. And after talking and reading some reviews and things, the kinetic splitters do have some issues with parts wearing out, or with wood getting jammed underneath the sliding plate, stuff like that. And the price wasn't that much difference between a really good kinetic splitter and the Ultra. I paid $3,500 for my Ultra. Right now they go for $4,000. And when I bought mine, I also had to pay the shipping to get it, which was $1,000 to get it shipped from Canada, where they're made, to my place in Wisconsin. And I got a single wedge with it, which was another $100. So really, whoops, look at that, I knocked the camera over. So really I paid $4,700 for it. But it is 3 times as fast as my old splitter. I can just split so much faster. And if I've got someone helping me, we can just barely keep up with the splitter. Like, see, I'm going to get a piece of wood and bringing it over. A lot of times I like to have the wood right behind me and grab it and throw it on the splitter, so I'm not taking any steps. And if I got someone helping me, I have the person that's helping me on the side where the wood is, so they just keep feeding the splitter and I just keep running it. With 2 people, you can really go through a lot of wood fast. I can do about a full cord and maybe a third, maybe even a full cord and a half in an hour if someone's helping me. If you get someone that's really on the ball and your wood is right there and you don't have to take any steps. By myself, I can do about a full cord. If I go as fast as I can and I've got the wood close, I can do about a full cord, which is fast enough. All I know is when I split all day long like I did today, not this day you're watching right here, but this was a couple days ago. But today I split the rest of that pile that's behind me there, and I split for, I don't know, like 6.5 hours or something. And that's a lot of splitting. That's about as much as you want to do in a day, because that's a lot of lifting of weight. For those of you that have split wood, you're basically lifting weights all day long. So that's kind of what happened. So like I said before about the kinetics, they're a little finicky. when I realized that the Easton-made Ultra that I bought has a Honda engine on it. Boy, that was a huge selling point. Now I know they're coming out with the non-Honda engines. They're going to have something else on there. I don't know if it's a Briggs & Stratton or what it is, but they seem to be really good engines too, the ones that are on the new ones. But the Honda engine is a big selling point, and obviously there's guys that are a little upset about that wanted to get a Honda engine, that ordered them because they can't get them. And I've had 2 different guys now contact me wanting to buy my splitter because they want the Honda engine. So there must be something to it. It does run great. It's just fantastic. I really do like it. The Honda engine starts easy. I've now run, I think, 6, maybe 7 full truckloads through the splitter. Like the one I'm working on right there, that's the wood that's to my right there in the background, and then the wood behind me, that's a full truckload. I've done, I think I'm on my 7th one. This might be right here. So anyway, the other thing is that obviously is the 4-way wedge. And the wedge on this, a lot of people don't think it's adjustable, but it is. There is a pin you pull underneath and you just lift the wedge up and down. I kind of keep it at the height that it is right here, because like the piece that I just ran through there, you get 4 chunks out of it. And if you want on a smaller piece, most of the time it goes right underneath the wings on the wedge, and you get a single split out of it, and it's just fine. If I got a piece that's kind of in between, what I'll do is I'll put it on there and I'll kind of hold it up so that it hits center on the 4-way, and that seems to work really good for getting even splits. And a lot of times if I get a piece that's a little bit bigger on the bottom pieces, I'll run them through a second time. And that's something I get for a question a lot, is why are my pieces so small? The reason I got smaller pieces like you're seeing right here is I run the pieces through to shrink them down just a tad, so that I'm not having huge monster pieces. Most of the people I sell to are buying wood for a fireplace. I have very few customers that buy for heating. I have just a few, maybe 5 or 6 a year buy that they actually heat their house with it. So 95% of people I sell to, it's for a fireplace. They don't want big, huge pieces. And most of the people that are building the fires, from what I've been told, are the women of the house. They're the ones that run the fire and all that. So again, another reason why I got the Easton made is obviously the price was pretty good. The 4-way, it's got big tires on it, so it rolls really easy in the wood yard. It's got the table work area where I can work from either side, because it's ambidextrous with the lever, the hydraulic lever in the middle there, so it works good either side, so that's really nice. Some people really like the colors. I don't know, they're just colors, doesn't matter to me. The hitch post receiver on both ends, I can pull from either end with it. That's really nice. It's easy to move around. But the big thing was the speed and the cost and the size. I'm easily able to move this splitter around in my wood yard by myself without having to hook it up to the truck. It's not super easy, but I can move it around pretty much where I need it to go. I mean, I just pick it up and slide it along. I am going to look, as soon as the weather gets better now, I'm going to put a wheel on the front, I believe. So anyway, those are a bunch of reasons why I got the splitter and kind of how I use it. So today, coming up now, the next section you're gonna see is gonna be me finishing off the rest of the wood. I'm gonna do a little fast forward thing, and then we're gonna get into some cutting of the pile that's behind. We're gonna cut the rest of it up. So here we go. So far, I have cut 3 tanks, all 3 saws, and I got this much left to go. So I think I can do this in 1 tank. So I'm gonna go fill up my 1 saw that was still sharp at the end. My first one was still sharp when it's cutting at the end. The other ones I must have hit dirt again or something. They always get dull. They were cutting, but not great. So I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna see if I can kill this puppy. Looks like about 1 tank, maybe a little more. We'll see what happens. Here we go again. Well, as you can see, I couldn't quite finish it. I did 4 tanks, and all I got left is just a little bit here, so I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm done cutting, so then I can start splitting, but I also have a delivery I have to go do, so anyway, we're going to cut the rest of this up. These babies, these stringers here are frozen into the ground just like the last ones, so I got the wood chuck out, and I'm going to pound on them a little bit with the 10-pound maul on the ends, kind of loosen them up, and then I'm going to pry them up, cut them, and then all I got left is that stuff right there. But some of that is froze onto the ground too, so I'm going to have to pound on those because those are off the stringers here, so not good because they're going to be cutting dirt probably. But here we go. One's loose. Go. That's all she wrote. Today's carnage is complete. There it is. I cut the whole rest of the pile that was here. I went through about 4 1/4 tanks, I would say. Because I ran 2 of the saws, full tanks, and then that saw, that's my older 576. It was extremely sharp. It was just as sharp on the second tank as it was the first tank. And towards the end of this one when I was cutting, I could tell it must hit the ground a little bit. It was getting a little dull, but still cutting really good. So I got it all done, and so tomorrow I am going to start splitting this, and hopefully I can get a bunch of it done. That's the plan anyway. But what a beautiful day you missed by not being here. If you were here, you would have, you would have been here, and it would have been probably the best day you've ever had. The sun is going down. It's still about 45 degrees. I think it hit 50 degrees today. Absolutely awesome. T-shirt weather. For cutting, it doesn't get much better. When you can wear a t-shirt and just barely sweat, it's about as good as it gets. So that's it for today, folks. Please hit the buttons, the like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. Hit them all. They're fun. Poking the buttons is what people like to do. And tomorrow, I will be back here. You're going to be back here. Between now and then, get out in the woods and get cutting. And if you run into Irene, tell her I said good night.